Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are actually doing, again, some more archery. And just to bring in what actually started all of this, just for you guys who are new in the back of the audience, this is what my bow is for my start. Not too bad, right? Well, we got a bow that my dad's letting me use. And if you're wondering why I have a hat, it's so that the sun doesn't get me a sunburn on the back of my neck. And it's been a while since I actually did some archery stuff, so this is a nice little return to something that I started doing and then just stopped partway through, mostly because it was raining a bunch and it was also just too cold or too hot to do it. And in comparison, this is my dad's bow, and here's one of his arrows. And then here's my mom's arrows. And you can see that I'm not. And you can see how bad I've gotten since I hadn't done anything in a while, which is the main reason why I'm doing this, aside from making you guys a brand new video. Because holy crap, it's been a while. But I will say, it is nice to do this again. Oh, and just want to clarify, this is not at a park or anything. This is actually just in the backyard of my house, where I currently live with my parents. So, yeah. Just wanted to let everybody know about that. This isn't a park. This is the backyard of my house. Oh, there it goes. Finally got an arrow there. I bet a lot of you watch this kind of stuff that I upload, where, you know, there's archery and stuff, mainly because of the background where there's a bunch of nice luscious grass and everything just looks all nice and stuff. And some of you probably watch specifically because archery stuff. Okay, now, quick question for everyone in the comment section and everyone watching this video. If you were to, and I'm just saying if you were to be on a hunting mission, which arrow would you use? A long or short, or just a medium-sized arrow? Because I personally would go with a medium arrow, because it's not as long as the long arrow, but it's not as uneasy as a short arrow. And just saying, yes, I would pick a regular bow over a crossbow any day. My main reasoning, because the crossbow has many things that can make it weak, but it has many things that can make it really good and strong in different situations. And I heard that a lot of things that some people who do fantasy stuff do that kind of just, you know, messes around with the crossbow and stuff is make it to where it's able to fire as quickly as a regular gun. But that would be impossible to do unless you had some kind of thing that would actually reload the arrows quickly. And while yes, I am getting the arrows here, I wanted to show just how devastating one of these arrows can be on the target. In fact, here's the target here. And I'm going to remove this arrow from my thumb in. That's how deep it goes, which is quite deep into the actual target, which is honestly pretty scary. It entered in right here and just went in a little bit, but a little bit is actually enough to leave a lot of damage. Just saying. Anywho, we're going to continue on, and you may notice that the placement of where the camera is a little different. It's not as far back as before, where it was actually further back if you're paying enough attention to that kind of thing. But the main reason for that is actually because there's something over on this side that I just don't want the camera to catch, so I moved the camera up a bit to make sure this is out of view so that you guys can see me still and see it at a little bit of a different angle while still getting to see what I want to show you and not every single little part over here. But this is just my little revival video on archery and why it's actually pretty good compared to a regular firearm or something like that. Because as you can tell, the moment you let go of the arrow, it does not make a sound like a gunshot until it actually makes an impact into the target like this. That's the only time it makes that kind of sound. Ooh, that was a close one right there for the game animal, I guess, on the target. I don't really know. Oh wow, that just bounced off. 3, 2, 1. Oh wow. And just to make sure that you guys see the difference between my dad's bow and my bow. This is my bow. See how it moves so weird? That's because it was not as accurate as my dad's bow, which is actually quite a problem for trying to get a lot more of an accurate shot with this kind of thing. But yeah, one of the arrows actually bounced off and just flipped around in the air. The arrow is one of my mom's arrows. This one. But here's all the arrows that have actually gotten into the actual target, and I want to just pull them out one by one. Okay, that is actually quite deep inside the target that was able to go. this one, dangerously deep, and it actually grazed the red part of the target. Okay, yep. I mean, the top one didn't go in as deep because it also hit the bottom arrow that already entered the target by getting stuck into the target itself. But I think now is the good time to just turn it around and practice on accuracy like this. Yep, we're gonna do that. And I hope you do like the backyard aesthetic of everything around, because this is just my parents' backyard. This is just how the backyard is. And I am focusing mainly on my dad's bow because I think I have grown into it a lot better. I still practice with my old bow. It's just not nearly as important as it was when I first started uploading archery videos to the channel. And this is going for both my Life is like Paint of Life channel and my actual default YouTube channel. Oh, there we go. I will say one thing that I remembered I did that was honestly what I remember is stupid was take an arrow, load it onto the bow, aim at the ground, pull back, and just fire into the ground, which wastes time because when I have it loaded, I can just do that, rather than just shooting it into the ground where I have to pick it up later. But that was just a nitpick that I saw from something that I used to do when I first started this archery series, and I felt like I had to address it. Okay, did not give that one enough attention on the pull on the string. That one got plenty. Always put the different color thing here so where it's facing away from you. Doesn't matter if it's your left hand that you're holding it with or your left hand, left or your right. Make sure it's facing away because I found that it was actually quite nice to actually do that. Also, this is just a question for you guys to answer in the comments. If you want to do some archery stuff, let me know and I will tell you the basics of how to actually do it so that with this bow or the other one, you can learn how to do it. And I will probably be able to get another bow that's like this one, like my dad's, that is exclusively mine. My dad just lets me use the bow because that's why it's not stored, taken apart. and mostly because putting it together is a pain in the rear end. Anyways, this was a reintroduction back to the archery stuff. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, like, subscribe, and comment. What was the thing that you liked about my backyard? I'm just curious, because